Hey everybody, what's up? Keith here from MAD, and in this tutorial we will be going on 3 different ways in which you can create a JavaScript function. So let's not wait much and let's jump straight right into the code section to see how it works. Okay, so before we start, I would like to say that in order to understand this tutorial, it's must that you know what are functions in programming in any other language. So now let's begin with number 1. It's the most basic of all. Here, multiply is the function name that we will be calling laterwards, and we pass these parameters into the function with curly braces next to it and instructions of what to do and what task to perform in it. Finally, let's call this function and pass these parameters 2 and 3 into it. And at last, let's just print out these values that this function will return in our console. So let's test this out. Click the button run, wait, and congratulations, we got the expected output 6, that is 2 into 3, that is written by this statement, return A into B. Wow, this is super easy. But my question is, what if I want to automate this process? Instead of calling this function, I want the function to invoke itself, and that's the second way. It got a very good name. It is known as self-invoked function. Just by doing some minor changes in first basic one, we will be yielding our self-invoke function. So let's not wait and let's just see how to make this self-invoke function. So the step number 1 is keep the whole function definition with declaration in the round brackets. Step number 2 is pass parameter with its definition itself. So here we are passing the parameters same 2 and 3, and instead of, and the third step, the last step is add variable to store return value. So here we are adding the variable result. Okay, so here we got the whole self invoke function. So now the last step that is remaining is to print this result on the console. That's it. So now what will happen when we will be running this code? As soon as we will run this code, this function will run itself without our explicit call, and the returned value will be also getting saved into this result variable. So now when we run this function will automatically take this parameters into it. It will run without our explicit call, and the results that is being returned will save in this result variable. So now let's test it out. But before that, let's just command this code so that we don't get the same output from here. Okay, that's all. So let's run this and let's see, do we get the result 6 or not? Yes, here we go. We got our output 6. And now time to disclose my most favorite way to define a function. Trust me, it's my most favorite way. And here we go. With the release of version 6, that is ES6 of JavaScript, this new way has borne out and used widely in industries. Even you will love it after looking at it. And the name of this way is arrow function. Name itself tells that it contains an arrow, but where and how to define, let's see. Okay, so this is our basic function that we defined in number 1 way. Now let's go and let's see how to use this arrow function. Don't worry, it's very easy. So the step number 1 is separate this name and parameters with equals to in between. Okay, now step number 2 is instead of writing function keyword, we will define a variable with the same name as a function. And the last third step, the main important step, is to make JavaScript know that this is a function. We are defining a function. Put an arrow between parameters and function definition. That's it. We got our function ready for us. And that's it. That's the final, third and most used way to define a function. Okay, so the final step that is remaining is just pass the parameters. That's all. Let's first comment this code so that it doesn't get run. And let's run this and let's test this out. So yes, here we go. We got our 6 as our answer, and that's it. Amazing. Alright guys, thank you so much. Alright guys, thank you so much. If you have found this video useful and if you want more such videos on MAD, then hit the like button, comment below and share your feedback in comments and help us on our mission to educate 1 million people on earth and give them what they deserve, that is success. So stay mad and stay creative and see you super soon in the next tutorial.